We're doing a new section today. I can hardly believe we're up to this bit. So this is chapter 3 and this is part 1. This whole section I did with how to feed your heart, because it is just such a difficult time, and these are all the things that I did that just helped me really at a time when I really needed lots of help. So we're going to talk about using medication, counselling, keeping a journal, doing free writing, reading, prayer and meditating. And I hope you get some benefit from maybe trying some of these things. Medication first. Going through loss is challenging. You're not able to sleep, eat, and you lack focus. You can have high anxiety, and symptoms similar to fear are rampant. Now, your doctor might be able to provide medicine to help you through this phase. Often medication is short-term, but depending on your circumstances, you may need long-term. If you need it, use it. It may be the difference between coping and totally falling apart. After nursing someone through a long illness, you are physically, emotionally, and mentally spent. So medication during the weeks, months, and years before they pass can help. And when the person dies suddenly, you may need sedatives to cope with the overwhelming shock. It is not a weakness to use medication to survive. The grief cycle is challenging and life-changing, and pharmaceuticals serve a purpose and allow you to heal and to be able to function. Alternatively, you may choose to use herbal medicines as well instead of Western medicine. Choosing herbs, teas and natural products works too. The strength may not be the same, but the side effects are less. It is your journey, and sometimes others make judgments and give ill-considered advice. Decide what is best for you. Only when one walks the path do they truly understand what is needed. Counselling. Bereavement counselling is a great idea. You may get stuck in the process, and a skilled counsellor can make all the difference. It can be great to get counselling. It is like looking after yourself. Go for as long as you need. It may take a few sessions too many. The time is not important. Moving through the grief and having support is why you go. Also, by talking to somebody outside of your circle of friends and family allows you to be totally honest. With others you may hold back and not want to upset them, but with a counsellor who is removed from your personal life, it does not matter what you say or how you break down in front of them. Bereavement is a life tragedy and is unlike any other situation. By visiting a specialist, you are able to focus on the problems and emotions in hand. Often they offer different coping methods, and you are in a place where you can be totally who you are. There are counsellors in real life where you may use the phone or an online service. By offloading the emotions, you are able to shed and express everything, and over time your load will become lighter. Whether you tell others or not you are going is your decision, but sometimes simply having another person unconnected to your life is all it takes. Counselling is healing and enables you to work through tough challenges and look at other ways of seeing your situation. Fresh eyes bring a new perspective to grief recovery. Keeping a journal. Writing may be a valuable tool in your journey. Being able to write about the day and how you feel is healing. Use the journal when you have the need, and do not make it a chore. You have enough chores already. Every morning or night, have a little written conversation with yourself. Speak honestly and freely. The act of writing is letting go, and there's much to let go of during this time. And also, writing allows you to shed the past. I was surprised when I read my journal. I could see my progress, and it gave me an understanding how far I had come. As time passes and you become stronger and more able to face your reality, your writing will change. Try to be truthful and inspire yourself with positive thoughts. Nothing lasts forever, and in time you will heal. Your journey can be a way to write about what you're grateful for and become a journal of hope and faith. Journals are useful avenues of expression. Not only can you write about your current emotions, your wish list for the future, you may include poems, sayings you love, and small drawings. Being a private activity, you are able to fully express yourself in a safe environment. Often we only say aloud what others can handle. In this case, we can say whatever we like. Loss is such an encompassing experience, and writing allows unfettered expression. Now, free writing is different to journaling. It is less of a record of your day and more like a long expression of emotions and thoughts. There are many emotions, and it can be quite overwhelming, and writing about how you feel helps to release much of the chatter in your mind and heart. I wrote continuously and let it all out. And by writing without censure, I fully expressed without judgment or measure. I said it all in my writing. Our friends and family are great to talk to, but some of our darker and sadder thoughts are kept to ourselves. This kind of free writing allows you to vent and express your deepest emotions in a safe place. When the person has died, others are not always comfortable with any negative talk or strong emotions, and not all deaths are easy. Writing in private enables you to speak the truth without hurting or compromising any relationships. You might cry and sob. You might let out your anger and rage. Free writing is very, very powerful and a useful method in releasing all these emotions. Moving on is about letting go, and you definitely want to let go with writing. Let yourself swear, repeat, and vent. It was normal for me to write pages and pages and pour out my heart. Then I would have a big cry and a sob and feel sorry for myself, but then I felt better. The more you write, the clearer things can become. It can be a way to find clarity in a murky pond. I found that the more I wrote, the more when I went back and read it, I understood. Over time, that your load will lessen, but whenever you get a build-up, get out your book and begin writing. At times you write very quickly and it looks like a scrawl. Don't worry if there are pages of illegible sentences. My son told me my writing looked like Sanskrit. Know what has been released and has injured no one in the process. If you are strong enough, try reading aloud what you have written. It's very powerful, and somehow it will bring and release another wave of emotion. After which you can rip up the pages and throw them in the bin. Some people like to burn them. It's really a personal choice. The emotions and massive shedding of tears is proof of its effectiveness. Reading. When I began my loss experience, I read everything I could find. I used Google, I joined grief groups, I went to the library. I felt it would give me a wider perspective, and also I felt less alone when there were other people experiencing the same reality. Reading allows you to connect to the situation and understand what is happening. There are different phases and behaviours according to where you are. And when you're upset, reading another person's experience and advice is healing and encourages some movement. Reading that others felt the grief came in waves helped me because of the up and down nature of things. So once I recognised this pattern, I made allowances. I let myself cry and be miserable. Instead of feeling I was losing the plot and out of control, I expected to break down everywhere and any time. The knowledge of the grieving process was liberating. Reading teaches us about common issues and how to cope. With grief, you're in flux. There is a victim and a survivor response to grief, and you can read about that. You will find yourself switching from one to the other. However, long term, you become a victim or a survivor. Loss taught me how difficult life is, but my compassion for myself and others was heightened. I marvelled at others who had navigated through the years of loss. I remembered there were lessons in grief, and it will strengthen you and build your ability to grow. Prayer is a personal choice. Sometimes the process of death brings you closer to your God. Perhaps your prayers were not answered and the outcome was not what you wished, but your faith continues to be strong. Other times the loss brings a loss of faith. I pray all the time, not in the church or religious sense, but definitely every time I need to speak to God. I also pray to my angels and those on the other side. I ask for guidance and the strength to get through this ordeal. In my prayers, I request that healing be sent to me and others who are struggling with grief. Prayer is a valuable tool during grief, especially when you have faith. While you are in the angry phase and hating God, prayers are more challenging. However, don't shut yourself off from God. That is loving God conditionally. Endeavour to love unconditionally. Everyone has to die, and even God cannot change the truth. Even though you may think it was the wrong time or a mistake, or that it was avoidable, there is always a plan. I had a serious accident in my early 40s and nearly died. I remembered crossing over and seeing the light and my deceased mum. Then, in a twinkling, I was sent back. It was not my time. It taught me that we only pass when the time is right. After my husband's death, my faith increased and it steered me through some sad and lonely times. Instead of feeling totally alone, I knew God and my angels were right there by my side. On the bad days, I struggled to sense them around, but I just nagged for more clarity and help. I reached out and I knew they heard me. Going to a church or joining a religious group may give you strength. The sense of belonging fortifies you and brings new light and joy into your life. It does not matter how long you go or whether you only sit alone in the church and light a candle for your loved one. Just do what feeds your soul. Meditating. We meditate, and when we meditate, we wish to nourish the soul. Meditating is a useful and calming tool. A few minutes every day, first thing in the morning or at night, might make all the difference between coping or not. It is finding peace in the stillness that gives healing to the soul. I look forward to being in that peaceful space and reconnecting. There are many ways to meditate, so do not give up. If one version does not work for you, find another one. Some people do walking meditation while others attend classes. I simply lie in the light and connect with my angels. Then I breathe in slowly and bring in positive thoughts and emotions and let go of negative ones. I ask for guidance and try to be in the moment. During the grief process, guided meditations are good because they will keep you from drifting off, and you will find the voice will soothe you. There are countless types available on the internet. Remember to choose the voice of a person that you feel comfortable with and that resonates with you. During your meditation, the body will relax, and often you will gain insights into other aspects of your life. I look forward to connecting with myself and my spirit. It brings me peace and it is a sanctuary during dark times. Grief overwhelms us, and by meditating, more love and light enters our soul. When someone we have loved passes, they actually exist in the realms of meditation, and I always feel closer to them then. Being both of spirit, we connect in this sacred space. You may use this time to talk to people who have passed and receive messages or visions during a meditation. The worlds blend together and the spiritual connection is quite powerful. It is important to use whatever works for you and use it for as long as you need or for only a short time.